Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Temi Talks Live here on the Wavy Baller Hub. If this is your first time joining, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow the movement that is the Wavy Baller Hub. Casemiro is coming to Manchester United. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. It's a weird day. Still a very frustrating window. Uh I honestly can't believe that we're getting the DM that we've wanted for so long. I know people aren't, it's like a mixed review because it's been such a bad transfer window, right? Guys, make sure to get your thoughts in the comments on this. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think. But very interesting. Like, obviously, it's been a terrible window. The Glazers are seeing that the fan base is unhappy, the fan base is frustrated, and they've gone out and made a move for one of the top DMs in the world. Does this fix our problems? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It doesn't necessarily help us in terms of what Ten Hag wants to do in terms of ball progression. That is probably not Casemiro's greatest strength in the world. But what I do know is this: he is way better than Fred. He is way better than Scott McTominay. It's not even debatable. It's not even debatable. Casemiro is 5 times better than both of them. He's better than both of them combined. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Like, people are saying, "Oh, this is not what we need. This still doesn't fix our problems." Of course, not. No one signing is going to fix our problems. No one signing is going to fix our problems. I hope people understand that. Like, yes, he's maybe not the age profile that you'd want. Even though I don't care about signing a 30-year-old. Like, I've never cared about that. People might argue he's on the back end of his career. He's not. He still has a lot to give. He's still a very, very good player, and he solves a problem for us. We have two really poor Premier League level midfielders playing for us week in and week out, right? Fred is not good enough, right? Maybe poor is a strong word for Fred. He's not good enough, right? It's that simple, right? McTominay definitely not good enough. And that needs to be fixed. It needs to be, no question about it, right? Like, excuse me. It needs to be fixed, right? Um the This is massive. I don't know what else to say other than the fact that this is a big deal for me. It's probably going to happen by the end of the day, before the end of the day here in America, in the States, I should say. And it is a value add. There's talks of him potentially playing against Liverpool, which would be insane. Insane. I would love that. I would absolutely love to see him play against Liverpool. Because he'd start a fight. He'd get the crowd into it, right? Hopefully the crowd isn't there. I already talked about that yesterday in terms of not helping the Glazers sell this club, but he would be such a value out on the pitch. Such a value out on the pitch. Like, it's ridiculous that some people really don't understand this. Like, you have to start somewhere. Obviously, Casemiro is not what we want in terms of just fixing all of our problems. But again, we need about 8 to 10 players. We need about 8 to 10 players. Like, seriously, before we even think about winning a title. Like, I could go down the line of the team yesterday or team last week. How many of them are good enough? Realistically, David De Gea, is he good enough at this level anymore? Probably not. Love him to death. Club legend in my eyes. He's outdated. Dallo, is he really good enough? No. Is Harry Maguire good enough? No. Is Lisandro Martinez good enough? We'll see. Luke Shaw, is he good enough? Not consistently. No. Fred McTominay, definitely not good enough. Bruno, in my opinion, not good enough. Rashford, not good enough. Ronaldo, past his prime, older. Not what we need up top. Jadon Sancho, good enough, but TBD, because he's not, he hasn't performed yet. And not all of that is his fault. But that's like 85% of the squad I just mentioned that isn't good enough. Now we have a player in Casemiro that's good enough. That's one out of the many that I mentioned that's going to get replaced. There's like three players in our starting 11 that I would say can compete at this level in terms of, okay, that this person can be in my team consistently. We can win consistently, right? Like, people, wake up. We aren't that. We're not good. Like, we're really not good. It's crazy. Like, we are terrible. Ugly Bear says, "Wow, Casemiro. That is it. That is it. Wow. Like, it's a wow move. It really is. Excuse me, guys. I'm still here. It is a wow move. Absolutely, unequivocally. You gotta understand that. You have to understand that. Forgive me, guys. My allergies are going crazy today, like crazy. So if you see me pausing, I'm still here. I just gotta blow my nose, and y'all don't want to see that. It's gross. But yeah, it's I'm excited. I'm very excited. Casemiro is arguably the best CDM in the world. Him and Kimmich, top 2 to 3. Yeah, he's definitely, in my opinion, top 5. Right. I think there are some at this point, there are some DMs I like better. I personally like at this point in their careers, I like Fabinho a bit better as a midfielder. I definitely like Josh Kimmich better. And there's some other names I could rattle off. Just can't think them off the top of my head. But he's a top player. Like, what are people not understanding about this? Like, yes, we do need a ball progressor next to him. But let's focus on getting McFred. Like, McFred is over. I told you guys this. I told you McFred would be done and dusted within months. It's happened within weeks, right? It's happened within weeks. McFred is over. Like, that is enough reason to celebrate for the rest of the season. We're not going to be anything this season, but guess what we accomplished? Guess what we accomplished? McFred is forever abolished. Abolish McFred. It's done. And that should be more than enough for us to be happy. A couple people watching, guys, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Get your thoughts in the comments about Casemiro. Should he start on Sunday if we get him in and get his medical done? I'd do it. I'd do it. Only for the fact that McFred again would be abolished. Like, think about this. Now that you have a Casemiro, maybe you can play a young player next to him. Whereas you can't play a young player next to Fred or McTominay, right? Because they'll just leave that young player out to dry, right? Maybe this opens the door for a Zidane Iqbal or a Charlie Savage or a James Garner to play next to a 4 times Champions League winner. Is it 4 or 5 for him, right? Like, oh boy, like. This is exciting. This is really exciting, guys. Get your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Casemiro has communicated also to Real Madrid teammates that he has accepted Man United bid, already saying goodbye to all of them. Casemiro and his camp are waiting for clubs to complete the agreement. Then he will travel to England. No chance for LFC game. Fair enough. Fair enough on that. Respect Fabrizio, but it's dope. It's dope. It's really exciting. I don't sound that excited because I'm kind of sick, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Guys. Next up on the list here, Antony. We are pushing. This one's a weird one to me because the club expressed interest in Antony. They told the club the price. I think at the time was 80 million euros, right? Manchester United were immediately not interested, right? Come back a few weeks later when we're desperate, we bid 80 million euros, and they're like, "Nah, we're good. We're good. We're good off that. You got to come a little harder." According to Fabrizio Romano, again, Manchester United are not giving up on Antony. The $80 million bid was rejected. Ajax turned down the new bid, but Man United plan to try again. They feel Antony really wants to move. Been told it's not sure that Antony starts on Sunday. Still discussed internally. Gakpo, the cheaper option for Manchester United. Obviously, Gakpo is the cheaper option for Manchester United. And I'm seeing a lot of Manchester United fans say, "Oh, go get Gakpo, blah, 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 blah." You guys haven't watched Gakpo Stop it. Stop. This is one of my ultimate pet peeves about football Twitter. People acting like they watch somebody they have not watched. I've seen Gakpo one time, and it was recently. PSV were facing, it was like a Europa League qualifier. Were they facing, was it Frankfurt or I can't remember, forgive me. But you guys haven't watched Gakpo? Like, stop. Obviously 80 million euros is a ridiculous amount of money, right? But here's how I'm viewing it, okay? This is how I'm perceiving it. The Glazers are going to invest this money as a parting gift to Manchester United fans. Here, take these players. Take Antony, take Casemiro. We're going to sell this club. Thank you very much. We bid you adieu, Manchester United fans. That is how I'm perceiving this. I wouldn't pay more than 40 million for Antony. Take it or leave it. 80 million is too much for him. Good thing you're not paying the money, Ugly Bear. Good thing you're not paying the money. I don't like. Here's the thing. Obviously, you're 100% right. I'm kidding. I'm being facetious here. Like, it is way too much money. It's way too much money. But that being said, this is what the manager wants. Like, these, the Antony signing, the list, like this transfer window has, this has, forgive me, guys. This has Ten Hag written all over it, right? It has Ten Hag written all over it. So, yeah, it's we'll just see. Does he make? You have to ask yourself this question: is he a net positive to the squad? That's where you have to start with transfers. The answer is yes. He's a net positive to this squad. He immediately makes our starting 11 better because he will start on the right, and then Jadon Sancho will probably start on the left, right? Or whatever, vice versa. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I imagine that's what will happen, right? I hope. I would imagine that Ten Hag knows that Jadon Sancho is better than Marcus Rashford, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I think that I like the player. I've watched a few games of Antony's. Like, I haven't watched. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've watched like 20 full games of Antony, but I've watched probably 5. Good player, right? Good player. Very talented, very skillful. Has the pace, the acceleration, the ability to beat a man, which is something our wide players seem incapable of doing now. Even Jadon Sancho. Marcus Rashford is almost like he's forgotten how to play football. Like, that thing in Men in Black where like they like zap your head and like you forget everything. That's almost like what happened. That seems like what's happened to Marcus Rashford. I don't know what's happening to him. It's like the brother forgot how to play football. It's just crazy. But yeah, no, I would bring Antony. I'm excited for it. It seems highly likely. It seems highly likely that we're going to get him at some whatever exorbitant amount of money it is. And I'm personally okay with it. Gakpo, would I be happy if Gakpo came? Sure. I mean, I don't really know too much about him, and I imagine most Manchester United fans don't really know too much about him, right? It's a lot of cap on the internet. A lot of cap on the internet. Gakpo is blah, 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 blah. They'll give you like the high level, like Spark Notes version of what he is. And I'm like, bro, you have not watched this player, bro. You have not watched this player. Like, stop. Stop. But yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on Antony? What are your thoughts on Casemiro? YouTube Casemiro is a monster. I hope you've watched more than Casemiro on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Casemiro is I watch countless games that he's played in, countless, because I do watch La Liga. I keep up with La Liga, even if I miss the games of if I miss games, I'll go back and rewatch Madrid and Barca highlights pretty much all the time just to keep up with what they're doing. Because I think it's important, but literally, I don't have the words for how excited I am for both of those players to come in. our team stinks. We stink. Like we absolutely stink, and we're getting two players who I think one is a guaranteed winner, you know, uh, and Antony, who's a young player who has the potential to get better and grow, right? So we'll see what happens. Manchester United are facing Liverpool on Monday. If you haven't heard yet, should I do a watch along for that? Seriously, should I do a watch along? I've been running away from these Manchester United watch alongs because I fear that I may say things on the internet that I don't want to say. But should I just man up and do the watch along and just because it just sounds like a terrible idea? I literally watch these games and I'm miserable. Like the first two games, I was genuinely like looking at my screen right here and cussing the whole time. Like, I was so mad. I was so mad. Would it be wise for me to do a watch along of Liverpool versus Manchester United? I don't know. I don't know. I got a job. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Genuinely do not. But let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about it. We are probably going to lose against Liverpool on Monday, right? If Ten Hag doesn't change things in terms of that system, like if we man for man go 4-3-3 versus Liverpool's 4-3-3, they will wipe the floor with us. Absolutely and unequivocally wipe the floor with us. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's a wild one. I feel nervous. I've never really gone into a Liverpool game outside of the second game. So the second Liverpool Premier League match last season and this one, I've never felt so deflated coming into a Liverpool game. Like even when we had Ollie, like I always had this confidence of like we can beat Liverpool, we can get a result against Liverpool, even though we didn't win a lot versus Liverpool under Ollie. Like I never felt like. I just never felt like we could lose this. Like we're gonna lose this game. Like it's frustrating to me. Like that we've gotten to this point where like I lack so much confidence in these players that just I have no confidence in them. Like absolutely no confidence in them. Like it's a scary one. It's a scary one. But I think that he's gonna play his 4-3-3, which I respect. I genuinely respect, but again, you probably have to play Fred and McTominay. You can't play Eriksen and Bruno in midfield. Bruno's not a grafter. Contrary, like I know when he first came in, he would like charge and press the opposing keeper. We thought he was a hard worker. He's not a hard worker. Eriksen's not a hard worker, but let me not even say Eriksen's not a hard worker. It's just that's not his skill set. He's not a grafter. He's always been a number 10. He's an attacking player, right? So Fred and McTominay probably need to play. I would probably play Fred, McTominay, Eriksen, right? I might even sacrifice your striker in this type of game. Like bring in James Garner, Fred, McTominay, Garner, Eriksen, right? Sacrifice your striker because we need just bodies in midfield. We need bodies in midfield. It's just I can't even because Liverpool have they've drawn their first two games against Fulham and Crystal Palace, and they have an opportunity to face a wounded Manchester United. It's nerve-wracking to say the least. I did a tactical analysis show with Statman Cam off of the he's a contributor on the United View. Make sure to check that out. We talked a lot about tactics and what we should do for this Liverpool game. So I'm not going to talk too much about this Liverpool game because I've kind of already discussed it earlier in the week. So make sure to check out that tactical analysis show. I suggested we play 3 at the back. I think we can play 3 at the back. But I think a lot of people are hesitant to play a 3 at the back because it would almost undermine all the work that Ten Hag has done in the first few months he's been at the club in terms of the preseason, in terms of these first couple of games. But sometimes you just have to throw tactics out the window and get a result. Like, honestly, Like one thing one thing about like I'm not even I'm giving Ollie credit here. He wasn't good enough, but there were certain games he'd play a back three. Like I remember him playing a back three against City a couple times and it worked. And I almost thought to myself like, oh, just keep playing this back three. Like get on, play Luke Shaw as a left center back. I thought he was excellent as a left center back. You know, get Malacia in there next to Luke Shaw, right? I think there's potential there. I do. Um, but hey, what do I know? Genuinely, what do I know? We shall see. We shall see. It's going to be an interesting game. Again, I think if we play a 4-3-3, we are going or 4-2-3-1, we are going to lose. I can't see it any other way. Man for man against Liverpool, we don't stand a chance. It's unfortunate. It's frustrating that we got to this point as Manchester United fans, but just got to keep it real, man. Just got to keep it real. Get your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'm going to sign off here. I got to get ready for work. But make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Follow the movement that is the Wavy Baller Hub, and I will talk to you guys very, very shortly, okay? Deuces.